Hello. Today I'm going to go over a PvP build that I created. This is another one of my in-class focused PvP builds that I created. This is on a Stamina Warden. This is an Imperial Warden. So I'll go into the skills and everything here in just a second. But how I kind of came across this idea was that the Warden basically has two focuses in their toolkit. If you build into the stamina skills, all their skills kind of do bleed damage. The bear does bleed damage. The stamina version, cutting dive, growing swarm does bleed damage. So there's three skills there. Plus the two-handed skill line has some bleed skills in it as well. If you wanted to even add in another one, you could go into be a vampire if you wanted to. I'm not a vampire on this build. I don't really care for vampire that much. But let's get into the build a little bit. So skills I'm using on the front bar, uh, the growing swarm for bleed. Then this is a scribed skill with bleed damage. And this grants me a follow-up passive passively. And then it also applies minor breach. Then I have Carve here, still leveling this up because I'm just kind of just now getting started with this build, so the skills are not completely leveled up. And then Executioner also does bleed damage, and then Cutting Dive adds a bleed instantly as well as a bleed dot. And then there's also, of course, the instant damage of bleed from the bear. On the back bar, I have Major and Minor Resolve with the elemental susceptibility to apply major breach, and then I've got the bull netch to give me major brutality and sorcery, as well as give me a cleanse and some stamina back every second. And then if it doesn't cleanse anything off me, it gives me a damage buff as well. This is here for two reasons. One, it's a burst heal, and two, it gives me minor intellect and minor endurance, which is really helpful. Once I pop a tripod and this, I'll show you um, basically what my build looks like when it's buffed up. So I have 1800 stamina recovery, 1367 mag recovery. I'm sitting at 38,000 health with a warden. That bumps up pretty easily. 20,000 max stam. As always, I'm running the Jewels of Misrule. I have the Lover Mundus Stone for the penetration. So let's get into the gear. Again, the penetration on this is really, really good. Um, Resistances, let's do that again. So resistances, I'm at 27,000, which is pretty decent. 12,000 without even accounting for major and minor breach. So this will be upwards into 20,000 breach once those are added in. Plus I have 4,700 weapon damage, so that's pretty good, I think. Um, so let's get into the gear then. I have basically a 2 5-piece set with arena weapons set up here. Um, so the front bar, I have a sharpened Titanic Cleave Maul. And what this does is every time you swing Carve, if you've got more enemies in it, makes Carve hit harder. So, and then I always put an Oblivion damage glyph. I like those. They tend to work really well. Then there's a weapon damage glyph with a powered staff on the back bar. As always, I tend to use Batishran's Ice Staff on the back bar. I think those are really, really good. And then the first 5-piece set I'm running is Dro'zakar's Claws. This comes from Moongrave Fane. For every bleed effect that you have on an enemy, you get an extra 103 weapon damage against them. So if we count how many bleeds we have here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. So on top of the bleeds that, or I should say the weapon damage that I'm already going to have, you can add another 618 weapon damage on top of that if I can get all 6 of those bleed dots on them. So that's a lot of pressure. The This set here works really well. So I unfortunately I'm wearing um, mainly medium armor, and then I actually do have some heavy pieces as well, but I don't have a light piece um, because I'm wearing a medium 5-piece set and a heavy set. So I'm running Crimson Twilight from the Castlethorn um, dungeon. This is a really nice set because when you take damage, any enemies that are near you, there's a blood cloud that fills up around you, and then it hits, and then for any damage that it does, that will heal you for 100% of it. And this scales on your max health, so when my warden health goes up, um, this will heal for even more. And so those are my 2 sets with the 2 arena weapons. So I always have infused weapon damage glyphs. I've got 2 crimson, or excuse me, 2 crimson, two crimson rings, and then 1 Dro'zakar, and then I have shoes, legs, and chest for the crimson pieces, and then Dro'zakar helmet, shoulders, waist, and gloves. Um, so I'll go over the champion points here. Green tree doesn't really matter. You can do whatever you want in there. For PvP, I will say it really is helpful to have War Mount and Gifted Rider and uh, Steed's Blessing filled in if you can get them all in. I know it takes a lot of points to get those. Good news in the next update, a lot of these things in the green tree are going to be reduced. They're going to give us some points back in that tree. So that's good news coming up here in June. So keep an eye out for that to reset your green tree. For the blue tree, I have Deadly Aim because a lot of this stuff is a single target bleed dot that's going to sit on people. So I'm buffing that plus the damage over time from bleed. A lot of this is damage over time oriented. Um, an optional dot would be used Exploiter because you are using the Cliff Diver. That's very common. And then I have Ironclad. I usually slot that on most of my PvP builds. And then just to make everything go up in damage, I'm using Untamed Aggression. I haven't really got the blue tree set in stone. That's just something that I'm kind of playing around with at this point. But I thought I'd make a video just to kind of highlight and show another idea of how to make class identity a thing. I know a lot of people complain that class identity is dead, and I understand their opinion on that, but you can still build into class identity. You don't have to follow the meta. You can always just do your own thing and just have fun. It is a game, so have fun with it. You don't have to follow the meta. You can do things your own way and just practice with it, and who knows, it might be just as good, or even if it's just a slightly not as good. At least you're building something different and you're using something different that's not just you know, cookie cutter and just boring. Everything's the same. You can have different things on builds. You can try them out. It's not going to kill you. Um, well, it might, but that's another thing. Uh, Boundless Vitality, Fortified. This right here is completely underrated for PvP. Not only does this make your shields bigger, but it also increases your damage against shielded enemies. So if anybody puts a shield up, you're going to want to have this slotted because it's going to increase your damage. And then I always go um, what did I slot for the 4th dot? Oh yes, Pain's Refuge. This is a reduced damage taken when you have negative effects on you. This is also a very strong uh, slottable as well. So those are my slottables. You've seen my skills and my weapons, gear, and all that. So I'm gonna ride out once again. I'm not in a campaign that has a favorable situation, so I'm gonna just have to ride out to the closest resource and take out a couple of enemies at a lumber or something like that, just to kind of show how the build works. It is really amazing to me on this build how the self-healing from the Crimson Twilight really helps, especially when you get into a herd. There might be a good idea to use a shield in this as well. I don't know, maybe you can scribe a skill to give you major brutality and sorcery, or I should say, put one in on a minor resolve or something to replace vigor or something like that, just to work in a shield. That's something that is lacking on this. Is it doesn't have a shield on the build. So I'm gonna go over here to this lumber, and we'll take out the guys at the lumber here and kind of show how the build works. I'm just going to run right up on the flag. And we're going to just start hitting with carve to clean out some of these guys. And you always want to focus on the menders. And I'm probably going to have to go up and kill that mage up there. Is making it a little difficult. And negate bubbles don't hurt stamina builds, so that guy doing a negate bubble on me right there doesn't matter. So that should make it a lot easier now to clear this out. As you can see, the crimson keeps proccing once every 8 seconds or so. Somebody killed my bear. I'll have to pull him back out. So there's the blood cloud again, healing. And there we go. So that's a little bit of another one of my videos for a PvP build. Not a great one. I understand it's not great. But it's just something else to try out and have fun with. I get real bored with having the same old build. I used to have almost the same build on almost every one of my PvE tank guys when I come in here, and so I've been gradually trying to change it up, mix it up, and uh, find different builds to put on people. But there's another one of my builds. Um, go over my gear one more time real quick. I have reinforced and Nirn honed with triglyphs on everything. a powered weapon damage, and then always sharpened with Oblivion on the front bar. No mythics on this build, no monsters. It's just a 2 5-piecer and a 2 weapon arena weapons, so a little different from normal. And I didn't do very well there on the resource. I am not a PvPer by any stretch of the term, so just keep that in mind. You will probably do much better on this than I do. I'm not real great in PvP, so I just come in here for the currency, and right now I'm just trying to get rewards of the worthy stuff. So that's what I was doing there. Thanks for watching, and I'll post another video soon. Thanks. Bye.